I thought I had the perfect job. I mean, it was a job where you picked up the phone and ordered the corporate jets, one of 4, to take you any place you needed to go. It was country club golf on the weekends and company cars for my family and my wife and I. And one day reality hit. I got called into, our company had been taken over and had gotten called into my new boss's office, and without warning or performance issues or anything else, I was let go. Thursday morning we got up not knowing what to do and not knowing whether to go back home, whether to stay. We knew we needed another job quickly. And so we decided to find some place that was quiet we could go and chat. And we normally walked along the beach, and that was our place we talked, but it was raining pretty hard that day. And so we decided to try and find someplace else. And my wife suggested the church that she had gone to the Sunday before, that it was a large building. They probably had someplace we could just go and sit and not be disturbed. So we got into the car and drove over, and the place was so big, and there were only a few doors that were open, and we ended up in the church library. And the librarian kind of took one look at us and knew that something must be up. And we said, "Look, do you have a place we can just go and talk?" And she said no, they had a school there as well, and the kids were in session, the chapel was being used, all the rooms were classrooms. She said, "But you know, there'll be a pastor upstairs that'll be able to see if you'd like." And I said, "Don't want a pastor, don't need a pastor, just need some place to talk with my wife." And she never let it go. Every time I said I don't need to speak with anybody, she referred us upstairs. So I finally relented and said, "Great, whatever." And she pointed us down the hallway and said, "Take the elevator up to the 2nd floor and there'll be somebody there that will meet you." So this long, lanky guy came down the hallway, extended his hand, and said, "Come on, there's a room here we can chat in. What are you here for?" And I said, "No, you misunderstand. Thanks for coming down. We're not really interested in chatting. We just want someplace to talk." He said, "Well, tell me what's going on." And this was my first experience with someone in the ministry that actually seemed like they cared. So for an hour I just vented, and I let it rip. You know, it's unjustified, I didn't do anything to deserve it, on and on and on. And he said, "You know, you may not understand this, but I don't believe in coincidences." And I said, "Okay, what does that mean?" And he said, "Well, this morning for the very first time is a group of unemployed men and women that are meeting here to talk about supporting each other and resources and jobs. Let me introduce you to the guy that's leading that and facilitating it." So we kind of looked at each other, and in walked this guy by the name of Roland Barrington. We started eating, and Roland just said two of the most important questions I think I've ever heard. One was, if I died today, did I know that I would go to heaven? And the other was, if I did die and God were to ask me why I should let you into heaven, what would I say? And I told him I was not certain I'd go to heaven. I don't know how anybody could be certain of that. And then I told him that, you know, why would he let me in? Well, I haven't killed anybody. I haven't stolen anything. I was a good guy. And he smiled again and just kind of said, "Look, would you like to know that you could know for sure?" And I said, "Sure." And for the next 20 minutes, he shared truth that I hadn't heard in any church I'd ever been in. And when I heard about God's love for me and the reality of Christ, it all clicked. And I was just listening, and my wife was across the way, and we hadn't had eye contact, and we hadn't spoken to each other. And he said, "Is there any reason why you couldn't or wouldn't accept Christ into your life right now and allow God to love you the way that He had intended from the very beginning?" And without looking up, both of us at the same time said, "Yes, we'd like to do that." And we were startled, and we kind of looked at Jean, and she looked at me, and it was the most natural thing in the world. And we said yes, and he prayed, and our lives were not the same after that. And I don't mean it was all a bed of roses and things were great immediately. The wheels fell off the wagon right after that. It got worse. A couple days later, the sheriff knocked on our front door, and we lost our house and moved into an apartment complex where the police department was there every night, and there were gunshots and squirrels literally in the cupboards, and just, you know, there wasn't, I was working 2, sometimes 3 jobs to try and provide, but it just never seemed like it was enough. And I went from flying around the United States in corporate jets to sitting in line at free clinics so my kids could get their shots so they could go to school, and food stamps once a month. It was before all of the electronic debit cards and everything, but would go stand in line once a month based off of your last name, and for hours and hours. And that's how we survived. And one day, while standing in line, I've never heard God speak audibly to me. I mean, I've never heard a booming voice. But it was very clear it was him, and he said, "Do you trust me?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I do. You know, I've trusted you with eternity. Yeah." And he said, "Do you really trust me?" And I said, "I think so." He said, "Go home. This is the world's way of providing. My way is better. Go home." And boy, did I swallow hard, because without those food stamps, there was not a lot of food to eat that month. So I went home, and my wife said, "Boy, you're home early." And I said, "Well, I got a story to tell you." And I shared it with her, and we got down on our knees and just prayed that I hadn't misheard, and prayed that God would come through. And he provided for our needs that month, and the next, and the next. And then I got another telephone call from a competitor to the organization that I worked with, who said, "Would you like a job?" And I said, "Yes." It's a remarkable thing. I'm still struggling with some of that, the guy that was there before. But it's a whole different deal now. It's still not all been a bed of roses, but it's been great, and I wouldn't trade it for all the jets and the golf clubs and the cars in the world.